28th. Rainy day in my out yard. See the winter outer covers all stacked up together. The insulation is still here, piled up their foams. And usually on a rainy day you can't do much bee work, but that is an exception. You can make an exception for moving bees. It's perfect time to move bees a rainy day. The bees are at home. You can do it in the middle of the day without losing the foragers. Otherwise, if it's not raining, you're stuck with moving them first thing in the morning or last thing at night if you want to move them out. So I'm moving, moving 11 colonies. I went through here yesterday, tipped back the bottom boards and looked underneath, and the ones that were completely covering all the frames on the bottom have obviously replaced their winter populations. If I left them much longer and they start to make drone cells on the bottoms of the frames, then the next step after that is they make swarm cells. And we are just on the cusp of a major first decent dandelion flow here. So I got to get the colonies out, take them home and call my customers. And so here they're all strapped up. How I move them is I keep the foam covers on, this 2-inch foam above plastic year round. So if you come to cinch them down, cinch the bottom boards to the foam, it will just cut right into the foam. So I'll take another bottom board, whether it's a new one or whether it's a beat up old one, it doesn't matter, and it'll just take the pressure off the foam, and then put some screen on the front. If it was a really hot rainy day, I'd take the entrance reducer out to the bottom and put screen across the whole of the bottom. But it's not, it's chilly. And so these bees will be just fine in this. Then I'll take them home, set them out in my home yard, and then go through them a little more closely at my leisure. Now, if you've seen moving bees before, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of having the boxes this way around because of the possibility of the frames flopping like that. But in this case, because of a health event I hadn't actually got through all of the frames, and they're still locked together in their winter configuration. The beauty of these plastic frames is that they cross-link the bottom of the bottom of the top frame to the top of the bottom frame. They stick them together, and whilst that might be inconvenient for the beekeeper, the bees really seem to like it. Otherwise I don't think they'd do it. And it also serves an extra purpose. It means that when I'm driving along at this moment, these frames won't rock around. If I'd gone through all of the frames and had them all out, loosen them all up, there's no way in the world I'd travel with the frames in that line of the truck. But I'd travel with them that way, so that if they do, as you go back and forth, they would rock, how should I put it, like that instead of like that, so that you wouldn't knock the bees around. But this particular field I'm in, it kind of tips to the side. And so I've noticed that if I'm going along to the side, the load will flop a little bit that way. So I'm just going to try, see if it gets out any easier like this in this configuration. But it's a nice rainy day to move bees. If you see the truck around, you'll know what I do.